Happy Halloween weekend and welcome into a Week 9 edition of Football Friday Night. Just 2 weeks to go in the regular season, if you can actually believe that. We're going to start the evening off in the 5A, where the previous few years, both Shiloh and Prairie Grove have dominated, but they've done it in the 4A. This year, the two made the jump up to the 5A West with a lot of unanswered questions.
That's right, but we've gotten the answers to those questions. New conference, no problems. Both teams still undefeated in conference play, and tonight our 5 News game of the week made its way to the home of the Tigers, where Prairie Grove looked to hand Shiloh its first regular season conference loss since 2017. It's that time of year. Once we get to Halloween, you get the 3 C's, right? Costumes, candy, and conference title battles. The crowd fired up in this one, and Prairie Grove would drive right down the field on the opening drive. But from the 5, Camden Patterson rolls out, and he's going to be picked off by Dax Widger in the end zone, a huge defensive stop for the Saints. So now they go on offense. Eli Wisdom rolling to his left, throws it up for his guy Bodie Neal, who bounces off of a defender, and he's able to move the chains, picking up the first down. That led to this. The Saints here hand it off to Bo Williams. He's a tough dude to bring down. Initially stopped, but he's able to shed the tackle on the second effort, and he gets into the end zone. The Saints took the lead, but the Tigers rebounded well after the interception. Connor Wetzel's nickname is the Hammer, and he says it's hammer time. A short touchdown run pulled Prairie Grove right back into it. But Shiloh kept the points coming. Eli Wisdom, reigning 5 News Athlete of the Week, looking to run it, nothing behind door number 1. Oh look, a cutback lane behind door number 2. Touchdown Shiloh, and the Saints go into Prairie Grove and come out with a 55-22 win. Shiloh stays atop the 5A West and unbeaten in conference play.
Those Saints, man, no one can beat them. Now we head to the 7A West. Senior night over at Fayetteville High School with the Purple Dogs taking on Rogers Heritage. First drive of the game, here come the War Eagles, but the Fayetteville defense steps up and gets the sack, but that wouldn't be enough to stop this Heritage offense. Later in the drive, Carter Henley to Bobby Jacobson. He gets popped, but what's even more impressive, he held on to the rock. Later in the drive, 4th and 1, they're going for it, and Hensley punches it in himself. What an opening drive for the War Eagles, but you know Fayetteville's going to respond. Drake Lindsay, he leads his offense right down the field and connects with Grayson Garrett in the corner of the end zone. We were all tied up at 7 right before half. It's 14-7 Fayetteville now, and Lindsay, he's just going to head on over to the other corner. Kaylon Morris there to haul it in on his senior night. Purple Dogs score 48 unanswered points, take care of Rogers Heritage in this one, 48-7. I
feel like we've heard Morris's name every single week. Back to the 5A West. Farmington, one of the top teams in the conference. They were hosting Pea Ridge in this one. We'll pick it up late first half. 4th down for the Blackhawks. Gavin Dixon dumps it off to Bowen Phillips, and he plows his way in. Pea Ridge hanging around in this one. But then Farmington, they dialed up the heat. The Cardinals here hand it off to Russell Hodge. He takes it right up the middle and into the end zone. Cardinals up 35-14. Following Pea Ridge drive, Gavin Dixon looking to go to the air. He's going to throw this one to the far sideline, but Caleb Mobley rises here to make the interception, and yeah, he has his eyes set on 6. Right down the numbers, and that's a pick 6. The whole team went absolutely crazy for this touchdown, and they would get to celebrate one more. Just before the half, Sam Wells carries, and he's going to find the right corner of the end zone. Farmington lights up the scoreboard, and the Cardinals come away with a 49-16 win. Farmington is now 6-3 on the season.
Cards can still get that 2 seed over in the conference. Now we move on. Lavaca hosting Boonville. First quarter, you've heard this name all season. You're going to hear it again tonight. A lot. Dax Goff, he's going to run it up the middle, and there goes the big man. No one can stop him. He's gone for 7. Boonville had a 14-0 lead over the Golden Arrows. We move on. Lavaca, though, trying to hang around. Maddox Knoll, what a season he's had. He's going to find Jimmy Barron, who's in for 6. Lavaca right back in it. We had a 1-score game. Still in the first quarter, a minute left. Dax Goff, you heard it once, you heard it twice, runs in for a touchdown, and the Bearcats had a 21-6 lead. Look at that man go. I don't know how you tackle him. We go second quarter now. Lavaca still on the move. Maddox Knoll, he's going to throw it to Andrew Johnson for a touchdown. Golden Arrows still hanging in there, but Dax Goff would take care of business the rest of the way. Here he is, his third score of just the first half. Boonville up 27-14. They get the win over the Golden Arrows 64-27.
And talk about putting up some big offensive numbers in those early games in our highlights. Taking a look at some of the other scores around 5 country. Lincoln 49-13 victory on your top right. Ozark gets the win 42-7. Greenland, a lot of 40 burgers around the area today. Greenland wins it 43-8.
Yeah, Charleston getting a big win over West Fork. The Tigers remain undefeated in conference play after getting that big win in the 5 News game of the week over Boonville last Friday. And how about Alma taking care of business against Dardanelle? But we do on its home turf, looking to take down Elkins for the first time this season. But we know that Elks offense and what they've done all season long. Dizzy Dean, what a year he's having. He's going to rear back and throw a touchdown pass to Stone Dean. The Elks were off and running. They had a 7-0 lead. Gentry trying to get something going on offense, but the Elks defense just as good as the offense. Strong defense there. It remained 7-0 Elkins. But Gentry going to get themselves back into the game here on offense. Chris Bell to Ty Hayes in for the score. We had a tie ball game. It was 7 apiece. But then that Elkins offense, they went right back to work. Let's look at those fireworks. Those are weird-looking fireworks, but we're going to move on. Elkins trying to get the lead right back. Dizzy Dean, he's going to get it to Deshaun Chairs, who runs in for the score. Chairs doing what he did all season long. Elkins up a touchdown, but they would win by a lot more than that. Elkins knocks off Gentry 56-14.
And now in the River Valley, one of the biggest games of the season. The Greenwood Bulldogs, sitting a perfect 6-0 in conference play, took on Pulaski Academy, who also hasn't lost a 6A game this season. As a matter of fact, the Bruins haven't lost a regular season conference game since 2019. Pulaski Academy visiting Greenwood. This place was absolutely jumping for this one. The Bruins here on their first drive of the evening, they score the first touchdown. Kel Busby passes the ball to Kenny Jordan, and the Bruins take the lead. And they would also go for the 2-point conversion on this one here. They hit John Mark Charette with the pass, and the conversion is good. So PA goes up 8-0. Greenwood, you know, that offense was going to respond in this one here. Hunter Houston looking to throw. He finds his guy Peyton Presson, and he's going to score Greenwood's first touchdown of the night. PA goes for 2. Greenwood goes for 2 as well. They came up short to the Bruins here with the lead. Kennedy Jordan here runs another touchdown into the end zone near the end of the second quarter. PA able to extend its lead. Staying in the second quarter, though, Greenwood again looking to respond. This time, it's Hunter Houston keeping it himself. He's able to punch it into the end zone. Greenwood hanging right in there with Pulaski Academy, and they actually come out on top in this battle for 6A West supremacy. They're unbeaten in conference play with a huge 33-23 win over PA.
Whew, how about those Bulldogs? Now we go Bentonville West hosting Southside. This one with huge implications. Mavs up 7-0, but Jake Casey, he's going to find Ty Durham, who does the rest, into the corner of the end zone. We were all tied up at 7, but the Mavs, they hung around in this one, looking to play spoiler. Quarterback keeper here, and the Mavericks are going to take a 14-7 lead, looking to get that win on Bentonville West home turf. But here come the Wolverines right back. We're tied at 14, still in the first half. Casey, he's going to hit Jackson, burst in the end zone. That's a heck of a play right there. West up 21-14, and they're going to add one more score before the half. Still 21-14 Wolverines. Jake Casey going to fool the entire Southside defense. They go one way, he goes the other. 28-14 Bentonville West. They get a big win. Wolverines and Bentonville going to play next week for the 7A West Conference crown.
Now we're going to go across state lines out to the Sooner State. Panama hosting Central. Razorbacks on their own 1-yard line right here. The Central defense able to come away with the safety to take a 2-0 lead. We always love to see safeties in football. Central driving here. Joseph Lee on the quarterback keeper fumbles into the end zone, but then he's able to recover his own fumble for the touchdown. It was 10-0 Central after the 2-point conversion. Then Central on Panama's 30-yard line, they break out, the double pass for the touchdown. Lee to Connor Green, who he gets the credit for the touchdown pass in this one. The Tigers knock off Panama as Central comes away with the 24-22 victory.
Not done yet here on Football Friday night. Before last season, Bentonville had dominated the 7A West. They won it a bunch of years in a row. But the Tigers, they were dethroned by Fayetteville last season, ending their 35-game conference win streak.
That's right. This year, the Tigers are looking to start a new streak and sitting a perfect 5-0 in conference play. They need just 2 more wins to finish the regular season once again as conference champs, and they look to get one of those tonight against Springdale.
Bentonville, Springdale, a battle of 2 teams going in separate directions. I think you know how this one would go. Carter Nye to C.J. Brown. Heck of a toss, heck of a catch. 7-0 Bentonville. We go later in the first quarter. Tigers looking to just keep pouring it on that Red Dogs defense. Josh Ficklin, what a year he's having. He scores a bunch every game, right up the gut. You're not going to stop him. Bentonville at a 14-0 lead. And later in the first quarter, Ficklin right up the gut once again, this time from 15 yards out. His second touchdown of just the first quarter. Bentonville at a 21-0 lead. The Tigers, they go on to dominate the Red Dogs. 45-7 is your final.
And staying in the 7A West, Rogers hosting Harbor. We're going to start with the Mounties on offense. Dane Williams looking to throw. He finds Jacob Jenkins down the left sideline. That'll go down as a 66-yard touchdown pass. Rogers goes on top 7-0. We're going to go back to the Mounties offense. We're going to go back to Dane Williams, and he's going to go back to the air. This time, looking for Grayson Cash. He finds him. It's an 18-yard touchdown. Rogers extends its lead, making it a 14-0 ball game. And then back to the Mounties once again. Williams, again throwing his 3rd touchdown pass of the first half, goes to Mabry Verser. The Mounties, they roll in this one. They come away with a 55-6 victory.
Rogers doing what they do, only 2 conference losses on the year for them. Let's check out some of our Oklahoma folk. Poto, they continue to roll, knocking off Ada 27-0. And how about Gore, once again finishing the regular season perfect in district play. They knock off Haskell 51-0.
Big offensive days for Spiro. They beat Heavener 43-20, and then look at Pecola there, 56 points in a 56-13 victory over Porter. So a successful day for a lot of our teams in the Sooner State as well.
I'm trying to think. Greenwood only won by 10 over Pulaski. Besides that, did we have any games within single digits tonight? A lot of blowouts. Getting close to the playoffs.
There's just a lot of good offenses. You know, it kind of feels like that's the way these football seasons go. When the season starts, the defenses are a little bit ahead of the offense, but once the weather starts to get a little bit colder, the offenses start to hit their stride just in time for the playoffs. And fortunately for us in 5 country, there's so many good teams. These playoffs are going to be really good.
And we had Shiloh tonight clinch that 5A conference title. You had Greenwood inch closer to the 6A title, but I'm so excited for next week. You saw Bentonville West get the win. You saw Bentonville get a win. That means next week, big rivalry game, which normally has a lot of stakes, but this time that one is going to be for the entire 7A West. Winner gets that 1 seed, loser gets number 2.
Safe to say 5 News Game of the Week next week?
You know, I think we'll evaluate, but I'd say that's pretty much a guarantee. But besides the high school, tomorrow, big one.